Admin, SA tracker. Just put this.
Several areas of England experienced another round of disruptive weather, with heavy rain and hundreds of flood alerts and warnings. The Met Office's yellow warning for rain covering parts of southern England came into force at midday and will last until 3 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time on Friday. The warning, which stretches from Cornwall to East Anglia, says power cuts and travel disruption are likely. A major incident has been declared in Nottinghamshire due to flooding. This incident occurred just days after parts of Wales and England were hit by Storm Hank. The BBC Weather Centre warned there could be more flooding with up to 40 millimeters of rain in some already saturated places. As of 16:30 Greenwich Mean Time, there were 212 active flood warnings, meaning flooding is expected across most of England. Today, there are also more than 270 flood warnings, meaning flooding is possible across England and Wales. Nottinghamshire County Council declared a major incident of flooding and the risk of further flooding. The decision was taken by authorities due to rising river levels along the River Trent, which are expected to peak tonight. The council has warned that levels could approach record highs set in 2000. They advised residents living in areas at risk of flooding to ensure they have preparations in case they are asked to evacuate. Laurie Walker, chairman of the Nottingham Area's Residences Association for Flood Hit Over 55s, said it was like a river outside their front door. Nottinghamshire County Council has confirmed 50 to 60 properties have been flooded in the area, with the village of Gunthorpe worst affected. Flooding also occurred in Worcester, Bedford, Shropshire, Gloucestershire and Sussex. People living in areas affected by flood warnings should act by turning off gas, water and electricity supplies, moving belongings upstairs, and moving family, pets and cars to safety, according to the Environment Agency, which includes English. The Met Office warned that it could be a difficult evening rush hour in the south and east due to heavy rain combined with strong winds.
I mean, look at that. Look at them drives up there, just underwater.
BBC weather presenter Ben Rich said the worst of the rain was currently in the south of England, where it's really coming down hard and fast. He said, "In the Bournemouth area, we have seen 10 millimeters fall in just 1 hour. That's a huge amount of rain in such a short time. So there's no doubt there will be travel issues out there." The BBC Weather Centre said the worst of the rain would occur overnight eastwards across East Anglia, the East Midlands and parts of Lincolnshire and the South East. Great Western Rail, which links London with southwest England and South Wales, has advised travellers not to start their journey by train due to forecasts of heavy rainfall in already flooded areas. A major incident has been declared in Nottinghamshire as residents have been warned they may need to evacuate amid the increased risk of flooding.
So here we are.
Heavy rain is expected to hamper parts of England on Thursday evening as the Met Office warned 15 hours of rain would wreak further havoc. Rising water levels on the River Trent have prompted Nottinghamshire Council to declare a major incident as the latest estimates suggest the peak could be close to the highest level ever recorded in 2000. Residents who live in flood-prone areas are advised to make preparations if asked to evacuate. A yellow weather warning for rain in southern England has been issued until 3 a.m. on Friday, with much of the region already impacted by groundwater caused by Storm Hank. Passengers traveling to the southwest were previously given a 2-hour travel warning as Great Western Rail ordered them to leave before 3 p.m. to avoid being caught up in the chaos caused by the flooding. Flooding from Storm Hank has caused travel chaos as passengers face disruption on train lines tonight. Residents are being evacuated from areas of Nottinghamshire and Gloucestershire as heavy rainfall and flooding continues across the country. Train services across the Gatwick Express, Southern and Thameslink networks may be cancelled or delayed due to bad weather, National Rail said. A number of people were evacuated from a mobile home site in Radcliffe-on-Trent, Nottinghamshire, and 4 properties were flooded after the River Trent burst its banks. Residents said the flooding there is the worst they have seen, and Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service warned that the water level will only continue to rise. It comes as Nottinghamshire County Council declared a major incident, with the latest forecast showing that peaks along the River Trent could come close to the highest levels on record from the year 2000.
Wait, can we get out?
Yeah.
Come on.
The council has urged residents to prepare for the possibility of further flooding and evacuation. In Tewkesbury, Gloucestershire, residents have been evacuated as the River Severn continues to rise and flood the surrounding areas. Residents there described it as the worst flooding in 16 years. The town has reportedly been cut off, and drivers are trapped on busy roads around the area. There are currently almost 500 flood alerts and warnings in place across the country. A yellow warning for rain, put in place by the Met Office at 12 p.m. today, remains for areas of southern and eastern England until 3 a.m. tomorrow. Wide areas of England and Wales recorded more than 40 millimeters of rain in 24 hours. River levels rose and the Environment Agency issued more than 250 flood warnings for areas of England. On the 2nd of January, dozens of roads were reported to be flooded in the West Midlands, East Midlands and East Anglia regions. Firefighters and police carried out flood rescues in Shropshire, Warwickshire, Derbyshire and Staffordshire, among others. Bystanders rescued a child and the driver from a car submerged in floodwater under a bridge over the River Cole near the Sarehole Mill Museum in Birmingham. Authorities reported people were evacuated from a caravan park in Great Billing, Northampton, following the rising River Nene. The river level at the gauge in the Nene Valley jumped to 1.63 meters on the 3rd of January 2024, just 1 centimeter below the record high recorded on the 24th of December 2020.
After a week of torrential rain and on already saturated ground, there's nowhere for the water to go. Their homes inundated, people packed their bags, carrying their pets and each other out of harm's way. Emergency crews going door to door.
Hello, fire service!
And paddock to paddock. In Leicestershire, they rescued a stranded horse, ferrying it back to dry land. Boats the only means of transport, as entire communities were marooned. Fog and frost settling across much of the country. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak under pressure to do matters into their own hands. Fed up with flooding, this
devastated by flooding in England following a powerful storm and a week of heavy rainfall. There are around 260 flood warnings in force, the majority in the Midlands, East Anglia and Southern England, with many residents forced to evacuate their properties. Flooded roads and railway tracks are bringing more delays for travellers. A major incident has been declared in Nottinghamshire around the River Trent. The Environment Agency says more than 1,000 homes have been flooded in England this week. Earlier on Friday, Nottinghamshire County Council said more than 100 homes in the county were among those hit by flooding, but warned the number could rise. Neil Clark, leader of Rushcliffe Council in Nottinghamshire, told BBC Radio 4's Today programme that water levels on the River Trent were starting to drop slightly, but the situation remained serious. The Environment Agency said the river's levels were some of the highest seen in 24 years. The river peaked at 5.35 meters, just shy of the record set in 2000, when it reached 5.5 meters in height. Council declares major incident due to flooding. Hundreds more homes flooded in England after torrential rain. The agency's executive flood director, Caroline Douglas, told BBC Breakfast hundreds of properties had been flooded in England overnight into Friday. Some 50 properties on Olney Island in Gloucester had been evacuated, she added. We're a country that's wet and we always do get a lot of rainfall, Ms. Douglas said. Over November and December, following Storm Babbitt and Storm Ciarán, the ground was incredibly saturated right across the country, particularly in the east.